Now, Johannesburg-based singer and songwriter Lily Hollow's debut single called Daddy I'm Gone contains strong message targeting the South African youth that is set to empower them throughout Youth Month. This offering is the 19-year-old artist's first introduction to the country's music industry as she tries to make a name for herself. Lily joins us now in studio. Good morning, Lily.
Morning.
Now let's look at your song. You performed it a little bit earlier on. Absolutely beautiful. Daddy I'm Gone. What message are you trying to drive to the youth of South Africa?
The message I'm trying to drive is a message of independence and that we as the youth have a voice.
Do you feel like some of the music that probably your peers, people your age, that they're releasing isn't maybe socially, driven and looking at some of the issues that the youth of South Africa specifically is facing?
I think so.
So how far are you willing to take this, considering that you are an independent artist? I was speaking to you a little bit earlier on off air and you were saying you're hoping to get signed someday, but what's the plan in terms of building your career towards getting signed by a big record company?
The plan at the moment is I'm releasing my EP before the end of the year, and then we'll take it from there.
You're very short-winded, and I think that's a lot of creative people. What type of music are you doing? Because being genre-specific is important. I mean, when you look at awards like the South African Music Awards, music is categorized. Which genre are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning more towards into an indie jazz infused.
Can you describe what indie is for somebody who has no idea?
Indie is independence music, so it doesn't necessarily fall under a category of music.
And had you never thought of maybe getting into the talent shows that we have in South Africa, like the pop idol shows, etc.?
I have, but juggling studies is quite challenging.
And I think that's another point I wanted to get into, because you're only 19 and you've got school, you've got your life, you've got music as well. How are you balancing your life at this point in time?
At this stage it's a lot of scheduling and planning and to-do lists.
And performances?
Performances I'm starting next month.
Are you starting? Where exactly can we find you and see you, and how do people communicate with you?
People usually communicate over social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
And your influences?
Definitely Michael Bublé, top of the list.
Oh, that's actually an interesting one. I would have thought more your traditional pop musicians. Why him specifically?
Well, he is my idol somewhat. And I love his syrupy voice and his soulful music.
Soulful music. And is that what you're trying to drive? I mean, I think the balance is really important, because you're 19, so you want to attract your peers and people your age, the younger crowd, as you are speaking through Daddy I'm Gone, trying to speak to the youth, but you're also trying to grow in the industry, and I'd assume you're going to change some of the sounds that you blend with your music later on.
Yes, definitely. I think as I mature, hopefully my music matures as well.
All right, Lily, thank you very much for joining us. That was Lily Hollow's. We saw her song a little bit earlier on called Daddy I'm Gone, and her aim is to empower the youth of South Africa throughout Youth Month. We're back with more news after the break.